Hello all of you. I am Miss Amruta Radhav ma'am, and here I am representing part 11 of the chapter Electrostatics. In this chapter we have learned many things which are related to charges which are at rest, then the force which is being created between them, which is nothing but electrostatics force, and it is been given by the Coulomb's law. Then we have studied Gauss's theorem, and even we have studied all the applications which deals with the Gauss theorem. Then after studying all the things which are related to Gauss theorem and its application, we have learned a term which is known as potential, and we studied the relation between potential and potential energy. We have studied all about zero potential, then derivations which gives you formula related to electric potential. It is due to a point charge, due to an electric dipole, and even for the system of charges. Then also we have studied about equipotential surfaces. After that, potential energy and all its equation that we have derived in all part 10. Up to part 10 we have studied all these concepts, and even the more interesting term which is nothing but dielectric and polarization, electric polarization, even the polar and non-polar dielectrics we have studied. Then capacitors and concepts of capacitors we have studied. So after using or after doing all this study about electrostatics, we are here in the part 11, and we are going to implant all the things to a device which will give you a high potential energy charge. It may be of the order of 10 to the power 7 volts. So this is designed by a scientist whose name is Van de Graaff. So it is been named after him. So let us move towards the concept, the construction and the principle, and even the uses of Van de Graaff generator. We are going to study all the concepts which are related to this generator in today's lecture. So before studying all these things, we have to revise what we have done in the previous lecture. So as I told you, we have already discussed not about only these 2 points, but also we have studied all the things which we have done in the part 10. From part 1 to part 10, what we have studied, that I have told you in short period. So let us move towards what exactly we are going to study in the today's part. Is the only one point which we are going to study is nothing but Van de Graaff generator. Okay, so let's move towards the concept for Van de Graaff generator. So basically Van de Graaff generator is a device which used to develop high potentials, which is of the order of 10 to the power 7 volt. That means we can write it in the use of generator. What is the use of Van de Graaff generator? It used to provide us a high potentials of the order of 10 to the power 7 volts, and even the resulting large electric field are used to accelerate charged particles like electrons, protons, ions to high energies needed for experiments, and even in research lab. In research lab and for experiment, we need to accelerate charged particles. But how we can accelerate that charged particle? This can be done by a tremendously large electric field, and this can be obtained by Van de Graaff generator. This is mainly used for the purpose of nuclear physics, for the various experiments, and also for the radioactive elements. So let us see what is the principle of Van de Graaff generator. The principle of Van de Graaff generator based on some things, that things deals with the charging, then discharge of charges, then distribution of these charges, and even the value of potential. As right now we have said that it is used to develop a high potential. So one of the thing which is best for the Van de Graaff generator is if charge is continuously supplied to insulated metallic conductor, potential of the conductor goes on increases. Let us see one by one and I will explain it to you. First is nothing but the phenomenon of corona discharge. Now, this corona is not at all COVID-19 corona. This corona is nothing but due to corona discharge. It is the physics term which gives you the idea about when you are giving a charge to any device, it glows up like bulb. When you light up the bulb, it will glow. That is nothing but corona discharge. And that is action of sharp points. So this generator based on phenomenon of corona discharge. Second, the property that charge given to a hollow conductor transferred to its outer surface and is distributed all over it. Suppose we are considering a charge sphere. It is having some charge Q1. Alright. As we have studied, as you all know, potential at every point on this sphere will be same because it is a sphere. And suppose consider charges over here also. So V will be same all over the surface, right? And if I put another sphere inside it, which is having charge Q2. So the potential for this outer sphere will be due to both the spheres, right? Because there are two spheres which are having charges on it. So if I give a tremendous energy, or if I apply charge to the inner sphere, then what it will give? It will transfer that charges to the outer sphere continuously. Okay, what I am telling you, try to tell you. Consider a sphere and there is an inner sphere also. Both are having positive charges. But the principle is, if I am going to apply a very high charge to the inner sphere, it will transfer all the charges to the outer sphere and that will get distributed all over the surface, and which is uniformly, as it is a hollow sphere, it is a hollow conductor. So we are going to apply charge to the inner sphere only. Okay, now the third is, if the charge is continuously supplied, if we supplied charge to anything continuously, what will happen to the potential? Obviously it will goes on increases, as Q is directly proportional to V. As you know, V is equal to 1 divided by, I will write here, as you know, V is nothing but 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q divided by R. So V is directly proportional to Q. So as Q continuously increases, V will also goes on increases. So that is nothing but the basic principle about Van de Graaff generator. That means we are going to apply continuous charges to this conductor so that it will gives us a high potential which may be of the order of 10 to the power 7 volt. For that reason, we have to provide high voltage supply to it. So let us see what is construction of this, that is construction of Van de Graaff generator. So as you can see over here, you can see the diagram and description about the diagram. I want to let you know that if a question asked in board like explain Van de Graaff generator, then you are going to write principle, construction, working, these 3 points. When you are drawing a diagram, you have to draw the diagram very neat and clear. You have to name all the component, and even you have to write like this as it is written over here, like this, like this. You have to draw the diagram and also you have to write this and only this will give you full marks for the diagram. Okay, so let us see what exactly the diagram says to you. So as you can see over here, many things, that means suppose consider P1, P2 are the pulleys, belt is there, a brush is there, 2 kinds of brush is there, one is input and another is collector. Dome you can see over here, which is having positive charge over there, iron source is there, DC power supply is there, steel vessel which is filled with this steel vessel which is enclosed with nitrogen, and M which is earthen. Now I will explain what these terms gives you. Basically, a belt which is made up of insulating material like silk or rubber, and that is moving continuously and which can be moved by using these 2 pulleys, this P1 and P2. Now how it can move? It is connected to a high voltage or it is connected to motor, which is actually not shown in the diagram, but it is connected to a motor which gives you power supply, and then this P1 and P2 continuously roll, and with the rolling even the belt is also moving, which is in continuous process. Okay, now the next thing is, besides that, you can see over here A is nothing but a spray brush like comb. It consisting of large number of pointed wires like this. It is exactly like comb and it is connected over here, and another end is connected to the power supply which is having 50 kilovolt of energy, 50 kilovolt of voltage to it, and the another comb is at the second end of the pulley which is P2. Here you can see the another brush, or I can say it as comb. So it is similar comb, but it can be used for the collection and this is for discharge. Okay, besides this, now as you can see that collector or the collector brush is connected to the dome shape of conductor which is hollow conductor. So the charges which is being collected by this comb is obviously given to the hollow shaped conductor. So by using that, these positive charges are spread over it. Okay, so this all is being between or is connected to a large conductor and which is mounted. This conductor D conductor is mounted on insulating pillars, and even this is not shown in the diagram. This is exactly like this is insulated pillars, so it is mounted on that. Okay, and E is an evacuated accelerating tube. Here you can see this E is evacuated accelerating tube, and which is having an electrode eye at its upper part and connected to dome shaped conductor. Okay, to prevent, now at the start we said that high amount of energy and high amount of charges we are going to supply to this, so higher amount of potential we are getting from this, so it may cause leakage. Now to prevent that, what we can do, this all arrangement has been put into, that means the dome, the pulley and the belt arrangement, all is placed in and enclosed inside a large steel vessel, which is this, S. Why it is insulated or enclosed inside this large steel vessel? That is to prevent the leakage. And this S, that means this steel vessel, is filled with nitrogen at high pressure, and even a small quantity of gas, which is freon gas, is mixed with nitrogen to ensure better insulation between the vessel and its contents. The metal plate M is held opposite to the brush A. You can see over here, M is held opposite to the brush A, and other side of the belt is connected to vessel S. Other side you can see over here is connected to S, which is earthen, so it is grounded. Okay, so all the negative charge will get grounded over there, and leakage can be formed due to higher potential applied to it. So I will explain all the things and all the construction again. What you can see over here, it consists of two pulleys. These two pulleys having a belt over it, which is maybe of rubber or of a silk, that is having higher amount of motion due to motor connected to it, so it is moving continuously. There are two comb like structure, A and C. A is having spikes on it, which provides charges inside the structure or inside the dome, which is being given by the higher supply, which is P. You can see over here, which is P. The another comb or another brush is works as collector, and which is connected to the dome, which is hollow conductor. So the amount of charges which is being connected by that comb is discharged on the hollow conductor. Then E is the evacuated accelerated tube, which is connected to dome itself, and even it has iron source at the upper end. This all structure is been enclosed inside a large steel vessel, which is containing or filled with nitrogen with high pressure to prevent leakage of the charge. This all is been grounded by using this term M. So M is metal plate, which is earthen. So this is all about the construction. Now how it exactly works. We'll see how it works. This is the construction that we have discussed. Now working. I will not exactly show you this. You just have a look at these diagrams, both the diagrams, okay? And I will explain the working. So, as we have studied all the construction about Van de Graaf generator, the basic thing is the electric motor, which is connected to pulleys. When it is switched on, it begins to rotate, and it continuously rotating from P1 to P2. Okay, so as it is moving and the DC supply is then switched on, which is of the order of 50 kV. When it is on, all the charges will get inside it, by using spray brush A. Here you can see in the first diagram, when spray brush gives you electrons or the positive charges in the first, here all are moving with the pulley and all are moving with the belt actually, and all the charges are moving in upward direction, and which is being collected by the second brush, which is brush C. Here you can see as it get collected, and the comb or the collected brush is connected to dome. It all get uniformly distributed over the dome. Okay, so as the dome is hollow, the charge will be distributed to the outer surface, and it will be in uniform, and its potential rises to its high value. Why it is so? Because continuously power supply is being provided to the first comb, which is A. As the charges are continuously moving in upper direction, this all positive charge will collected by the comb C or the collected charge, and it will get distributed all over the hollow conductor. In the second diagram also you can see here all the positive charges are moving in upward direction, and then it will be goes on the hollow sphere. Then what happens exactly to the another? So the continuous accumulation of the charges on it gives you higher potential. The potential of the electrode I also rises to the highest value. The positive ion, such as proton or deuteron, from a small vessel containing ionized hydrogen or deuterium, are then introduced in the upper part of evacuated accelerated tube. Why is it so? What I am telling you, the positive ions are introduced in the upper part. Let us see the first diagram again. In the upper part, we are going to introduce a positively ions such as protons or deuterons, which is containing ionized hydrogen or deuterium. These ions repelled by the electrode. Obviously, these ions will get repelled by the electrode I and are accelerated in the downward directions. And due to high fall of potential along the tube, these ions acquire very high energy. These high energy charged particles are then directed towards the strike as a desired target. Okay, have you got all of this? If not, I will explain again. I hope you understood all the construction about this. So I will explain here. This is the Van de Graaff generator, right? It has two pulleys and it contains a belt. दोन pulleys असणार आहेत, which is P1 and P2. Both are connected to motor. As it is connected to motor, continuous motion of the belt will be there. आता इथे ज्या दोन्ही तुम्हाला GIF दिसत आहेत, एक्झॅक्टली आर नॉट सेम लाईक अवर डायग्राम, कारण प्रॅक्टिकली इट मे बी डिफरंट, आणि आपण जे पाहत आहोत विच इज स्केमॅटिक डायग्राम इज देअर, सो इट इज डिफरंट सम काइंड. सो P1 आणि P2ला एक बेल्ट अप्लाय केलेला आहे, बेल्ट लावलेला आहे, आणि दॅट बेल्ट इज ऑफ रबर और सिल्क, आणि तो कंटिन्युअसली मूव्ह होतो आहे विदिन P1 अँड P2. P1च्या शेजारी तुम्हाला एक ए दिसतो आहे, दॅट ए इज नथिंग बट हिअर यू कॅन सी दिस ए इज नथिंग बट स्प्रे ब्रश, किंवा आपण त्याला कोंब म्हणूयात, कंगवा. जसे स्पाइक्स असतात कोंबला, इन अ सिमिलर वे दिस ब्रश इज हॅव्हिंग अ कोंब, स्पाइक्स आहेत त्याला. आणि त्याचं सेकंड एंड जे आहे ते पॉवर सप्लायला कनेक्टेड आहे. आणि अनादर एक कोंब आहे सिमिलर, तो कनेक्टेड आहे डोम शेप हॉलो सिलेंडरला, हॉलो कंडक्टरला सॉरी. सो त्याला कनेक्टेड आहे तो. सो ज्या वेळेला मी पॉवर सप्लाय ऑन करणार आहे ॲट दॅट टाईम काय होईल, इकडून चार्जेस जातील टुवर्ड्स ए अँड ऑल द चार्जेस विच इज पॉझिटिव्ह ते सगळे कुठे जाणार आहेत, बेल्टसोबत ते वरती जातील, ते ॲसिलरेट व्हायला लागतील कारण तो खूप चिकटून आहे बेल्टला. सो ऑल द चार्जेस विल मूव्ह अलॉंग विथ द बेल्ट अँड बेल्टबरोबर अप्पर जात असताना when it is moving in upper direction it will go towards C. सीकडे जाणार आहे ते. सीचं काय काम आहे, सी इज द कलेक्टर ब्रश, तो कलेक्ट करणार आहे चार्जेस आणि तो हायर अमाऊंटमध्ये कलेक्ट करतो अँड देन इट इज ॲज इट इज कनेक्टेड टू दिस डोम, ह्याला कनेक्टेड आहे ना तो. सो ऑल द चार्जेस कुठे जाणार आहेत, इट विल प्रोव्हाइडेड ऑर इट विल गो टुवर्ड्स द आउटर पार्ट ऑफ डी. आउटर पार्ट बाहेरच्या सरफेसला ते काय होणार आहेत, जनरेट होणार आहेत सगळे चार्जेस. आणि ही प्रोसेस कंटिन्यू चालू राहते. ॲज इट कंटिन्युअसली वर्किंग काय होईल, हे जे अप्पर पार्टवरचे चार्जेस आहेत ते खूप वाढत जाणार आहेत. मग ते इतके हाय होतात की काय होऊ शकतं, आफ्टर सम टाईम लिकेज व्हायला लागू शकतं. आता हे लिकेज जे आहे चार्जेसचं ते आपल्याला प्रिव्हेंट करायचं आहे. नाव टू प्रिव्हेंट दिस लिकेज काय केलं आहे आपण, तर ही सगळी सिस्टीम जी आहे ती या इन्शुलेटेड और इव्हॅक्युएटेड म्हणू शकतो आपण, या चेंबरमध्ये आपण त्याला सगळ्याला इन्सर्ट केलेलं आहे त्या पूर्ण सिस्टीमला. आणि ती हे स्टील वेसल आहे एस, आणि ती फिल केलेली आहे नायट्रोजन गॅसने विच इज ॲट द हायर प्रेशर. सो त्याने काय होणार आहे, लिकेज जे होईल चार्जेसचं त्याने ह्युमनला काही प्रॉब्लेम होणार नाही. So to prevent that, we have put it into a chamber which consisting of nitrogen, which used to prevent the current or used to prevent the leakage of the charges. ठीक आहे, इथपर्यंत कळालं आहे. आता हे सगळं आपण अर्थिंग केलेलं आहे, ग्राउंडेड केलेलं आहे सगळं. जसं सगळे कनेक्शन आपण ग्राउंडेड करतो तसं हेही कनेक्शन आपण ग्राउंडेड केलेलं आहे. आता हे सगळं आपण पाहिल्यानंतर इथे फक्त यूज कोणाचा पाहिला आहे, पुलीचा पाहिला आहे, एचा पाहिला आहे, सी आणि इवन डीचा. व्हॉट इज द यूज ऑफ दिस. नाव वी आर गोइंग टू इंट्रोड्यूस. हे सगळं हायर पोटेन्शियल ज्या वेळेला अप्लाय होतं आहे, डोमवरती कंटिन्युअसली पॉझिटिव्ह चार्ज क्रिएट होतात आहेत. देन व्हॉट अबाउट द निगेटिव्ह चार्ज. आता आपण इथे काय करणार आहोत, द पॉझिटिव्ह आयन्स विच मे बी प्रोटॉन और ड्यूटेरॉन ते आपण इथे इंट्रोड्यूस करणार आहोत विदिन द अप्पर पार्ट. ह्या पार्टमध्ये आपण आयदर हायड्रोजन किंवा ड्यूटेरियम हा इंट्रोड्यूस करणार आहोत. काय होईल त्याने, ॲसिलरेशन वाढणार आहेत पार्टिकल्सचं, कारण एक एक्स्ट्रा गॅस तिथे इन्सर्ट झालेला आहे. सो दिस आयन्स विल गेट रिपेल्ड बाय द इलेक्ट्रोड. ह्याच्याने काय होईल, तो ह्या आयन जो आहे इथं ऑलरेडी त्याच्याने रिपेल्ड होणार आहे तो. So as it is been repelled by electrode, they will get accelerated in downward direction. सगळे चार्जेस कुठे जातील, डाऊनवर्ड जातील. आणि ते इतके हाय अमाऊंटमध्ये आणि इतके फास्ट मूव्ह होतात ते विथ व्हेरी हाय अँड व्हेरी ट्रिमेंडस एनर्जी, अँड दे कॅन बी टेक और स्ट्राईक ऑन द डिझायर टार्गेट. इथे एक टार्गेट ठेवलेला असतो, त्या टार्गेटवरती ते कंटिन्युअस बंबार्डिंग करून ते निगेटिव्ह चार्जेस सक केले जातात किंवा आपल्याकडे घेतले जातात. सो दिस इज नथिंग बट द वर्किंग ऑफ वॅन डे ग्राफ जनरेटर. बेसिक यूज काय आहे याचं, तर टू प्रोड्यूस हाय पोटॅन्शियल. दिस कॅन बी यूज्ड इन ओनली लॅबोरेटरीज, दिस कॅन बी यूज फॉर रेडिओ एलिमेंट्स and even for the nuclear structures this is used. Okay, so as we have studied construction and working, here you can see the GIF. Have a look at this, you will come to know the exact idea about it. I am trying to tell you all about this. I hope you will get the concept. This all the positive charges get discharged over here and all the negative will go out towards the target. Have you got? I hope. Chalo, so let's move towards the last session. and the last part of this chapter, which is uses of Van de Graaff generator. As I told you, basically this is being used for radioactive elements, so this, and even for the nuclear reactions because it needs higher potentials. Then accelerating electrons to sterilize food and to process material. Artificial foods जे असतात that can be made by using this kind of technique. Then to study the nuclear structure, obviously, and to carry out disintegration of nuclei of different element. Disintegrate, what is meaning of integration? We combined them. कुठल्याही गोष्टी कंबाईन करतो त्यावेळेला आपण त्याला म्हणतो इंटिग्रेट केलं. डिसइंटिग्रेट म्हणजे काय करणार आहोत आपण? सेपरेट करणार आहोत. न्यूक्लियस आपण ज्याला म्हणतो, इट कन्सिस्ट ऑफ नंबर ऑफ थिंग्स, त्याने आपल्याला न्यूक्लियस मिळतो. न्यूक्लिया म्हणजे काय? न्यूक्लियसचे पार्ट्स. सो जर का न्यूक्लियस आपल्याला डिसइंटिग्रेट करायचं असेल, ब्रेक करायचं असेल, तर वी नीड हाय अमाऊंट ऑफ एनर्जी. कुठून मिळेल ती? बाय युजिंग वॅन डे ग्राफ जनरेटर. So the first use is to carry out the disintegration of the nuclei of different elements. Okay, so these are the uses. Now this question is asked in board examination for 4 marks. Now if they asked only for explain Van de Graaff generator, so you can write all these things, that means principle, construction, working. Just write 2 uses in that question, but if it is straightly asked like explain Van de Graaff generator with the following points and they have given the points, then you have to write all the things. If they ask only principle, if they ask only uses, then you can write only that terms. Okay, so this is very important in this chapter and I hope you all got this concept. What is exactly Van de Graaff generator is. Okay, so thank you so much for watching whole video and I hope you got this point. And hereby I am declaring that I have covered the point Van de Graaff generator as well as the chapter electrostatics. So we are going to study now some numericals about it and then we will move towards our new chapter, which is thermodynamics, which you may have studied in chemistry as well as. Okay, so it will be easier to you to cope up with the thermodynamics and you have studied that in 11th standard also. So we'll have fun in the thermodynamics. Up to that, thank you so much for watching, and if you have any query, please go through all the video that are all the 11 parts, go through it. The chapter is been cope up in all the 11 videos only, so you have to just have a look at the 11 videos only, then you will come to know the exact idea about this chapter. Thank you so much.